What's going on, guys? My name is Nicholas Merton here at Data Dash, and today is July 28th of 2017. So guys, as you all know, I usually do not like covering ICOs because many of them I would not touch myself, and I wouldn't want to get you guys entangled in coins that I wouldn't want to touch. The reason being is that a lot of ICOs out there either have way too high propped up valuations, they don't have the tech or team behind them, and a lot of the times they have a philosophy for their technology or coin that really isn't something that's applicable in the world, or that honestly is nowhere worth the valuation that it's given. So, that being said, guys, every once in a while there is an ICO I like to cover, or at least has been asked from the comments below, that I'm actually relatively optimistic on. And one of those coins that I want to talk to you all about today is EOS. Now, you guys have been requesting this pretty extensively, probably more than any coin that I've seen. And EOS is a very interesting coin, and the tech related to it is very interesting. And its approach compared to Ethereum is really interesting. Now, a lot of you might have heard EOS, the next Ethereum killer. You know, you probably read the headlines in it. And I understand that a lot of things are compared to Ethereum, but this one is actually a very applicable competitor with Ethereum, rather than just being the next Ethereum in the sense of being the next big coin. So, what is EOS at its core? Well, first off, I want to tell you all, before we get into that, the price action has been really nice, honestly, ever since it came out. It's been holding near the highs over the past few days, and I'm really telling you all, if it can continue optimistic price action, we could break past the highs of the ICO. So, anyways, outside of talking about price action, I really want to talk about the philosophy and tech behind it. So, we see that it has this really nice valuation. The volume has been steady on EOS. It's been remaining consistent, and there's a total supply of 1 billion coins in the end. So, what is EOS in itself? Well, I'm going to be giving you guys a brief description. And before I jump into that, I want to let you all know there's a YouTuber that you should go check out. If you want the more detailed description, his name is Ivan on Tech. You guys probably know about him. He's a much bigger YouTuber than I am. I feel almost kind of wrong giving him a shout out and stuff. You might have seen his video before you saw mine. That being said, though, I really recommend you guys take the time. If you want to invest in it and you like what I tell you, go check out Ivan's video. He is a very intelligent guy. He's a programmer himself, and I just think he's a really humble, cool guy, and he knows what he's talking about. So, that being said, I'll leave a link down below in the description to go check out his video if you want the more detailed description. If you're really on edge about investing, make sure to watch this in his second part to the series. So, anyways, let's cover in, and I'll give you guys the brief rundown of what makes EOS unique and an impossible Ethereum killer. So, you go to EOS.io, the website, you will see right off the bat, it is decentralize everything. Now, a lot of you might be saying, Nick, that's what Ethereum's doing. It's trying to decentralize everything. It's trying to bring blockchain technology to a multitude of web apps and give that feasibility to developers. Fair point. Ethereum, it's the reason it's the second most valued cryptocurrency out there. It's kind of a, let's bring blockchain technology to everything, So it's like, why do we need EOS? What's the difference between that? And Ivan does a great job of describing this, and it's the fact that EOS itself is trying to make it so that you can bring decentralization to everything and make it so the user doesn't understand they're using blockchain technology. Now, why is that important? Well, I'm going to tell you all a good example of this. Dan Larimer, who is the creator of EOS, or at least the founder of EOS, also founded a coin known as Steemit. And Steemit is a pretty popular coin because it's, Steemit's technology basically is, it's a social media or social network where people can share information and they can reap the rewards from it. And they don't even know that when they're utilizing the interface of Steemit from its website, they're actually utilizing blockchain technology. And this is where Dan Larimer wanted to create EOS. He wants to take that concept of letting developers utilize blockchain technology and bring it to web applications without the user even knowing that they're using blockchain technology. So how does it differ from Ethereum? Well, I'll go ahead and do a little bit of a sketch so you can really get this in a visual understanding. So we've got our first individual here. I wish I could draw a little bit better. I wish I had my tablet working. I'll redraw him real quick. So there we go. So we got a little guy here. And basically speaking, this is the average user. Now, if you go ahead and you use something like Steemit, for example, you can interact directly with the website and start getting information from the blockchain. And you have all kinds of different posts and stuff on the interface. And this is just stuff that people have posted online. And like I said, it interacts directly with the blockchain. Now, here's the hiccup with Ethereum. Ethereum is great because it lets you develop all these web apps, much like how EOS is planning to do in the sense of giving developer tools. However, if a user wants to interact with these web applications, they've got to go through the monotonous task of most cryptocurrencies. Whereas they've got to go out of their way to interact with downloading all the technology and the wallet and all the things that are tied with Ethereum. So it's, sorry, there's my poorly drawn Ethereum. But you get the point. You basically have to download all the tech to really start using it. And it's really inefficient. So in order to, use those web applications, you have to do that. And then once you do that, you can start using Ethereum's tech. Now there's also another hiccup here. If you want to build your own web apps and stuff and skip all this, you can't use Ethereum. So if having that one factor where you just want everything to be decentralized, example in Steemit, they had to build their own blockchain technology. So it's kind of like, crap, well, we have to either stick to Ethereum and make our users download all this kind of monotonous downloads and connect to the blockchain and do all this stuff that really an average person doesn't want to do, or we have to go out and build our own blockchain. And this is where EOS fixes that issue. It makes it so that developers can utilize their technology and build web apps through the EOS blockchain that do not require the user to have to download any kind of client base. It simply can allow them to use the web applications and utilize blockchain technology. And that's where the strength comes in, folks. That is where EOS is a selling point. Comparative to Ethereum, which is great, which has had massive adoption, which has already been being utilized in a lot of web-based applications, there's no need to download Ethereum technology. It's all through simple user interaction to the web-based applications. And like I said, Ivan does a great job of explaining this, guys. It is something that really could be a game changer. And I think Dan Larimer and the rest of the team at EOS understand how powerful that can be. Now, let's talk a little bit now that we've understood about what it benefits from comparative to Ethereum. Is it really worth the valuation it's at? Well, think about it this way, guys. Ethereum right now, if we go to it real quick, we'll go ahead and look at the market cap. It's sitting around an $18.5 billion valuation. It's the second most valuable crypto, and that's even after a pullback. So we have EOS here, which is, if we were to rough it off, around $500 million in valuation, whereas Ethereum sitting here at almost 18.5. I'm telling you guys, as long as adoption continues to come with EOS and some coverage starts coming to it, the only thing that we're waiting for here with EOS is making sure that it has good dev tools and everything, much like Ethereum. Ethereum probably has a much larger team behind it, but if adoption can come into EOS, that's really all it needs. I'm telling you all, with Steemit, I'll go to Steemit for an example. If we go to Steemit here, I'm sorry, my typing skills are also bad. If we go to steemit.com, this is a perfect example. We're now interacting with the blockchain. We've got information. This is all powered by the blockchain. We just don't know it. We're seeing the user interface of the blockchain. We're not seeing the actual blockchain. And we didn't have to download anything to start using Steemit. It's right here. It's interactive and it's visual, and I can instantly create an account and use it. And that is what literally EOS is going to be able to do. It is going to bring this technology to a variety of thousands of web applications and websites. So guys, that is the strength here. That is what EOS is promising to do. And honestly, whether it's an Ethereum killer, guys, or maybe if it takes 5 to 10 years, the comparative valuation of EOS to Ethereum is it's a very big gap to fill. Sorry, I was about to say it's huge, but it is a very big gap to fill. So if it ever becomes anything like Ethereum, you've got a long way in the sense of valuation for EOS to meet up with Ethereum. So who knows, guys? Maybe Dan Larimer and the team who are behind EOS really got something big here. I think it's much easier for both users and developers to fundamentally develop tools and interact with tools that are built on the blockchain. It's amazing to see that so many people are really focusing on building tech in the blockchain and really making it so we can bring it to everyday life. Rather than having to do what Ethereum does, which is just kind of you got to connect to the blockchain and got to download all this tech. it can't be like that, guys. If we want to bring technology from the blockchain into the real world, that's what we got to do. We got to make it adaptable and make it easy for the average individual to use it. And that is the power of ethos. Or sorry, ethos. EOS, sorry. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Did you guys like the concept of EOS? Do you guys think it's going to go any places? I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments below. You guys get another coin you want me to cover, I'd be happy to. And like I said, check out Ivan's video, guys. It'll give you a much easier understanding. And especially if you're going to be putting your money in it, you should definitely understand the tech to a higher degree. So, anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I'll have much more content coming down the pipeline. So I'll see you all in the next video. Stay tuned.